Like an eagle protects his nest, for you I'll do my best. Stand by you like a tree, and anybody that tried to be. Darling, in you I found strength where I was torn down. Don't know what's in store, but together we can open any door. Just to do what's good for you, I'll inspire you a little bit higher. I know you can make a woman out of a soul that didn't have a go. 'Cause we got the right foundation. Goodbye. Yeah. I got to say, you know that you got me. And I love it tomorrow, EFECT.
From concrete grew this yellow rose of Texas. Good evening, Boxyard RTP. I am Alexus. If you can hear me, say woohoo. Thank you so much. All right. I am the founder of Truth Meets Story, LLC, expanding empathy one story at a time. I tell stories about the sweetness of Black girls and the compassion of Black women. I tell those stories on diverse platforms, page, stage, screen, web, radio, and podcast. And for that reason, I was able to get a sneak preview of what you are about to witness here tonight. Now, when I first met Tati, we were at church, and the Pastor Lisa Yaboa of Southeast Raleigh table, she is at the front of church, and she yells out, "Alexus Rhone." My hand goes up, and she points to me, and Tati and Miles come down to where I am in the back of the sanctuary, and we start talking. By the end of that conversation, I was so impressed with Tati that what I said to her was, "Oh, we got work to do, sis." And we began to meet and to talk through exactly what you are, like the steps for how we are here tonight. One of the first things she did was she allowed me to read her script, and she described it as a melanated Golden Girls. That's how she called it. But when I read it, my first thought was, now Sophia wish she had a fifth of this talent right here, this flavor. Sophia ain't got no flavor like what you're about to see here. It is about to be an amazing experience. Now, a live staged reading is where we take a script and we cast it with all of the actors, and they're going to read and perform with their voice the spirit of each character. The reading is about an hour and 40 minutes, about the length of a movie. So just like you would in a movie, if you need to go to the restroom or move around or whatever, do that. There will be a few sound cues. And you can see here that we're kind of competing with, a little bit of noise, but prayerfully y'all can hear me. Can y'all hear me? We can still hear me? Okay, very good, very good. And at the end of the production, you're going to hear directly from one Tatiana Johnson. So y'all ready? Let's do this. Okay, presenting Lady Pearl, a screenplay by Tatiana Johnson.
Harris House, morning. Evelyn Harris, African-American, mid-70s, walks through her home with her duster singing My God, along with her record player. She kisses the framed picture of her wedding day.
Happy anniversary, baby.
With her Saturday morning cleaning complete, she moves back into the living room to take the needle off the record player. She starts to read the morning paper, but she's startled by the doorbell ring. She jumps up to answer. Her surrogate son, Jason Harris, is anxiously waiting on the opposite side of the door, looking through the small window pane atop the door frame.
Mama E?
Jason!
As Evelyn flings her door open, Jason greets her with a big smile and a bouquet of flowers.
Oh, what's happening? What are you doing here? I thought you were traveling on business.
Well, technically I am. I know this is a special day for you and I. Before Papa J passed away, I promised I'd do something for him.
Confused, Evelyn watches Jason pull an envelope from his jacket pocket. Her name is written on it. The handwriting is familiar.
What is this?
He swore me to secrecy, but just open it.
Evelyn begins to slowly open the envelope. She finds a set of keys and a handwritten letter. She begins to read it in her head. James J.D. Harris, late 70s. His voice weak, yet his conviction is strong.
My dearest Evelyn, if you are reading this, I can stop haunting Jason. Tell my favorite guy I love him. I know you're confused right now about what is happening, and I hate that I'm not there with you to explain it. But I wanted to take this time to confess some things to you. Confession number 1. I've always favored Coke over Pepsi. But for you, the Harris house will remain a Pepsi house. Confession number 2. There was no men-only hunting trip last October. Do you remember the pamphlet Elianna sent a few years back about her new community, Pacific Manor? Well, more than the community itself, I remember how your eyes lit up as you told me about it. Then I remembered that light dimmed just a little when we found out that we couldn't afford it. As I started getting sicker, I had Jason rerun the numbers for us. As much as I hate to give any credit to that crazy boy, he actually came up with a plan, and we used the hunting trip as an excuse to fly down there for an in-person visit. As soon as I stepped foot in the community, I knew right then and there what I needed to do. Enclosed are the keys to our dream condo at Pacific Manor Senior Living Community. A man by the name of Dwayne Hastings will be expecting your call to arrange your move-in and discuss details. I know this is a lot to take in at once, and you may feel a little afraid. Baby, I want you to keep living, and I want that life to be peaceful. This is my anniversary gift to you now, forever and always. Love, JD.
Tears fall from Evelyn's eyes while shaking her head in disbelief. Jason turns to console her. Evelyn's condo, weeks later. Jason and Evelyn have arrived at her new home in the Pacific Manor communities. They exit the car and are greeted by Dwayne Hastings, standing under a banner reading, "Welcome home, Evelyn Harris."
Greetings and welcome to Pacific Manor. I'm Dwayne Hastings, and I believe we spoke on the phone.
Yes, I'm Evelyn.
Now, your husband said that you were beautiful, but he never said that he had married a 35-year-old.
Well, aren't you sweet? But I embrace every one of my 75 years.
And you should. You look amazing.
Thank you.
And Jason, it's good to see you, man.
Likewise, man.
Well, let me show you around before the movers start unloading.
Sounds like a plan. I'll wait outside and give you some time with Mama E.
Okay, baby.
Shall we?
Dwayne offers his arm to escort Evelyn into her new home. She takes a deep breath, accepts his arm, and they proceed into the condo. As she walks through, Evelyn takes mental notes of all the things she and JD used to talk about when they pictured their dream home. An abundance of natural light, marble countertops, high vaulted ceilings. Their dream home has been realized.
It saddens me that Mr. Harris won't be joining us, but it was such a blessing to get to know him as we prepared this unit for you. Like we discussed on the phone, this is the bell layout. What do you think?
You didn't miss a thing, did you?
We try to accommodate all the residents' wants, especially the residents we actually like.
This is, thank you. Thank you so much.
It's our pleasure. Now, we will be hosting a meet and greet brunch tomorrow from 11 to 1 in the banquet hall. It's about a 10-minute walk down the road. If you need the shuttle service, you can just call them and have them pick you up. Will Jason be joining you?
Oh no, it'll just be me. Jason has to fly back tonight. Between the two of us, his twin boys are a terror, but he'll owe his wife a spa day if he's even 30 minutes later than he said he would be.
Wow. Okay, well, I'll send a special prayer for all parties tonight.
Thank you. They're going to need all the prayers they can get.
Well, I'll let you get settled in. If you run into any issues, don't hesitate to give me a call. I'm on site and I will make sure you get well taken care of.
Thank you so much, Dwayne.
Not a problem. I'll see you tomorrow.
The two embrace and Dwayne walks out of the condo. Jason enters with a box in hand.
Papa J really did a great job.
He sure did. Was never one to disappoint.
You're right about that.
Thank you again for tagging along. You really didn't have to.
Well, that wouldn't have been any fun. Besides, you know Papa J would drop kick me in my neck if I didn't make sure you were moved in properly. The Hunter stuff is no joke.
Oh, believe me, I know.
Evelyn looks back at the paperwork on the countertop and a pink flyer catches Jason's eye.
What's that?
Oh, some type of beauty pageant. Elianna was telling me she wants to enter. You know, she was a big pageant queen when we were younger.
Oh, really?
Yep, and I made all of her gowns. I sewed, she showed.
Okay. Sounds like you and winning combination. Were you a contestant too?
Oh, no, I was never one for the spotlight. That was more of Eliana's lane, and besides from what I remember of it, you always have to be on your P's and Q's. No hair out of place and always ready to give a speech about how you could bring peace to the world.
Okay. So if she makes it into the pageant, do you think you'll be recreating the sewing show match?
I don't know. We did have a lot of fun then. I haven't been really inspired to sew or design anything since JD passed.
That's understandable, but you never know. Inspiration can be found in very unexpected places.
That's true.
So what other activities do they have?
Well, it looks like they have a bowling league, a chess club. Ooh, maybe I can join this taekwondo training.
Okay, Bruce Lee.
As they continue to look through the paperwork, they are startled by a loud crash outside. They rush outside to find a golf cart has crashed into the curb. Evelyn's dearest friend, Elianna Rodriguez, Afro-Latina, mid-70s, is behind the wheel.
Miss Rodriguez, are you okay?
I'm fine, darling.
Jason assists Elianna out of the cart.
You sure do know how to make an entrance.
Every woman should.
The two dear friends embrace in a hug.
Where are you coming from?
I had to suffer Zumba today. Our instructor went on a well-deserved vacation with her boyfriend. Quiet as it's kept, I think he's gonna pop the question.
Oh, that's sweet.
I wanted to be here when you pull up, but I didn't realize Mr. Speedy over here was going to get you here an hour before schedule.
Jason takes a glance over the fresh skid marks left by Eliana's golf cart.
Oh, I'm Mr. Speedy.
Oh, shut up, boy, and mind your elders.
Elders well.
Elianna tries to run after him to spank him on the butt, and he nearly escapes.
Remember, you can run, but you can't hide, boy.
Elianna and Evelyn laugh, lock arms, and head toward her condo. Hours later, the space has been transformed. The group is seated at Evelyn's dining room table, indulging in the last bites of pizza.
All right, Mama E. I hate to eat and run, but I gotta make my flight.
Okay, baby.
I'm gonna head on too. Brunch tomorrow, though, right? I can drive over to get you around 10:30.
Yep, but let's take the scenic walk instead. I don't think I'm ready to meet JD just yet.
There is nothing wrong with my driving. I told you, they just got these new golf carts and the settings are different.
The goodbye hugs commence. She watches Jason and Elianna load back into their respective vehicles and leave the driveway. She takes in her new community, inhales, exhales, and retreats into her new home. Evelyn's condo, morning the next day. Evelyn wakes to the sound of birds chirping. She lays in the bed staring at the ceiling. Her face is blank. She's still in mourning. She studies the photo of JD on her nightstand before forcing herself out of bed. She begins to make her morning coffee when she hears a knock at the front door.
It's the boogeyman.
Evelyn takes a look at the clock on the wall. It reads 10:30 a.m. on the dot. She's still in her robe. She reluctantly opens the door, bracing for Elianna's reprimanding.
Good morning.
I know I'm running a little behind.
Elianna gives her a once-over. She can tell her friend has had a rough night and decides to delay the scolding.
It's okay. Do you need any help?
No, but come on in and grab a cup of coffee. I'll just be a minute.
Evelyn leads Elianna to the kitchen and pulls a mug out of the cupboard.
The cream is in the fridge. The sugar's in the small jar to the left there. If you need some sweetener, I think I have some in that drawer. I don't know if you need caffeinated, but this is decaf. JD would only take decaf.
In her haste, Evelyn drops the mug, putting a halt to her rambling. Elianna bends to help clear the ceramic pieces scattered across the floor and looks up to find tears beginning to well in Evelyn's eyes. Elianna slowly approaches her friend and gives her a reassuring hug.
I got you.
Evelyn breaks down in Elianna's arms. The grieving process has caught up with her and it consumes her. Pacific Manor sidewalk, day later. Elianna and Evelyn are walking toward the banquet hall, arm in arm. Evelyn has regained her composure slightly, but hangs tightly to a handkerchief in her opposite hand to wipe an occasional tear.
I'm sorry again for earlier. I know we're late now, and I just...
You don't have to explain anything. I understand. It's a lot to take in.
You know, this is everything we ever wanted. This is just what we worked and planned for, and then cancer.
I'm going to tell it to you straight. This won't get any easier. But as long as I'm here, you'll never have to go through it alone. Okay?
Thank you, Al.
Anytime. And speaking of time,
Elianna takes a glance at her watch.
you got to pick up the pace if you don't want the scraps.
Right.
The two break out into a brisk walk. Pacific Manor Banquet Hall, moments later. Evelyn and Elianna walk arm in arm into a space filled with balloons and a huge welcome sign. The pair make their way to the check-in desk to find a flamboyant man, Josie Seals, late 60s, donned in a feather boa.
Good morning.
Josie extends his hand to greet Evelyn.
Good morning.
You must be Evelyn. I'm Josie Seals.
Very nice to meet you, Josie.
How are you settling in so far?
So far, so good.
You're going to love this here. My sons had me over at Hunt Street before, and it was god awful. It's like the staff is just counting the days until we all drop dead. But here, they actually give a damn and encourage the residents to get involved in activities.
Yes, Elle has shown me the list. It's quite extensive.
But has she told you about the pageant?
Already on it.
And?
I don't know.
Oh, honey, you should really think about it. The owner really rolls out the red carpet. The winner, of course, gets bragging rights, the crown, and the sash. But she will also receive...
Josie clears his throat, pulls an imaginary index card from his back pocket, pretends to read from it, and lowers his voice 2 octaves to mimic one of a game show announcer.
A round-trip flight for 2 to any U.S. or international destination, $1,000 in spending cash, and free rent per year at any of the Pacific Manor properties.
Whoa, sounds like you've been in the winning circle yourself.
They aren't that progressive.
Yet. But at least to let me do my thing as hostess. Anywho, you should really consider it. I could draft your nomination in a heartbeat.
I don't know. I'll think about it.
That means no.
No, it means I'll think about it.
Well, we will catch up later, Josie.
Okay, hon. See you around. It's nice to meet you, Evelyn.
You too, Josie.
As the duo make their way back to the food line to grab lunch, they are greeted by Dwayne, who is pouring drinks at the mimosa station.
Hi, Miss Rodriguez.
Hey, Dwayne, any word on my baked goods order?
I should have an update by Wednesday.
Awesome. Dwayne is my personal baked goods aficionado.
Yeah, well, I do all right, especially for my friends with glaucoma.
Benjamin Langston, early 90s and frail, abruptly approaches the line and begins to tug on Elianna's shoulder. His wife, Inez Langston, early 90s and frail, trails behind him.
I promise you I didn't do it. You'll see. It wasn't me.
I'm so sorry, ladies. Andy, sweetheart, we know you're innocent. Now let's get our food to celebrate your acquittal.
Inez smiles and nods to Elianna, a signal for her to join the conversation.
Oh, yeah, Andy. And I even think I see red over there.
Dwayne comes from around the table to assist.
That's right, Andy. We all knew all along that you were innocent. A stand-up guy like you, how could anyone ever do those things?
Inez and Dwayne slowly guide Benjamin back to an adjacent table as Elianna and Evelyn continue to proceed through the line.
So what's the backstory on that one?
Well, Inez and Benjamin came here after Benjamin had a stroke.
But didn't she just call him Andy?
Yeah, I'll get to that. So right before his stroke, he was watching Shawshank Redemption, one of his favorite movies. And the doctor said that the stroke may have caused the dementia. So now he thinks he's Andy Dufresne.
Wow. That was a good movie, but I would hate to relive it in the real world.
Yeah, well, other than his moments as Andy, which happen about once a month, he's pretty even-tempered. And they are such a beautiful and loving couple. Before the stroke, they were very self-sufficient. Inez was an elementary school teacher, and Benjamin was still lecturing over at the college. They celebrated their 75th anniversary 3 months ago.
That's remarkable.
You know what? This would be the perfect time for me to give you a rundown of the room.
Time freezes. The women examine each resident in the dining room. Jane Robertson, mid-80s, is placing a hearing aid in her ear.
First up, Jane Robertson. She stays to herself, but rumor has it she's one of the world's most valuable intel agents. You see that hearing aid there? Word is, it's a front and serves as a communication device that links her to the CIA and FBI.
The pair turns their attention to the entrance door. Dwayne and his daughter Sydney, 15, are discussing the latest draft of next week's newsletter and menu.
You already know Dwayne, but standing with him is his daughter Sydney.
And Sydney, isn't she a little young to be here?
Sydney volunteers over in the health squad after school. Dwayne is a single dad and wants to keep her close since she's getting older.
Attention shifts to Frankie Lovett, mid-70s and handsome, sitting in the corner of the dining hall. He eats alone.
Franklin Lovett, Army vet, arrived after his wife stepped out on him with their banker. Luckily for him, he learned a thing or two from that banker before he was robbed of his wife.
Frankie gives a small wave in Elianna's direction. Elianna politely waves back. Evelyn notices the sparks.
Oh, okay.
What? Oh, that was nothing. Sweet guy, but no, moving on.
Myla Gibson, late 80s, pickpockets another resident.
And there goes her thieving ass, Myla Gibson. She's allegedly one of the biggest jewel thieves in the South. Arrested a whopping 28 times, but never served a day in prison. That being said, I wouldn't leave anything of value around if I were you.
Elianna and Evelyn approach a table where Carol Kingsley, mid-80s, and Gail Butler, late 70s, are seated in mid-conversation. The room resumes.
And last but not least, my girl, Carol Kinsley and Gail Butler. Carol Kinsley arrived here after her last husband died. She is a spitfire. And talk about a woman who speaks her mind. She's never met a man she didn't like. Married 7 times, but no children. But don't let her free spirit fool you. She was one of the first Black surgeons in the area. Such an interesting combination of brilliance and impudence. And Gail Butler, widow and neighborhood saint, arrived 2 years ago after her husband died in a car accident during a missionary trip in Brazil.
Or at least that's the story she told her children when she came back without him.
Carol winks at Gail. Gail looks at Carol, digs in her bag for her rosary beads, and storms away.
Come on, Gail. You know she didn't mean it.
Elianna turns to Carol.
Now you know how that upsets her.
I just want her to go ahead and tell the truth and shame the devil. At the very least, she should tell her kids the truth. Everybody knows that he ain't dead. That man went down to Brazil, found some sweet little thing, knocked her up, and refused to get back on that plane.
We all know that, but damn, let the woman have her dignity.
She'll be over it in a few days. Anyway, I'll do the usual. I'm sorry, Gail. You know it's all this mess they have me on makes me a little bit more chatty, blah, blah, blah. She'll go home, ask God whether he should forgive me or not. God will say yes, and we'll be back to being the 3 Musketeers in no time. Well, 4 Musketeers with our new friend.
Elianna shakes her head as Carol turns her attention to Evelyn.
Hi, you must be Evelyn.
Yep, Evelyn Harris.
Well, welcome, Evie. I had a friend named Evelyn in high school, and we used to call her Evie. Yeah, Evie the Chevy, because all the guys used to back up on her Chevy and...
Okay, Carol, let's just keep it at Evelyn for now.
Well, all right. How you liking it here at PM so far?
So far, so good. They said Gail would be giving us the full tour after brunch.
I hope you had your dose of aspirin today. You'll need it for that tour, Gail.
I'm sure it won't be that bad.
Well, don't say I didn't warn you. All aboard the crazy train where you can't throw mama off.
Gail startles the women as she reapproaches them with pom-poms in hand.
Well now, who's ready for an afternoon of FUN fun?
Carol shakes her head and mouths to Evelyn. I warned you. Evelyn's condo, evening, later. Exhausted, Evelyn enters just in time for her favorite TV show, Project Runway. She turns on the television, then walks to the kitchen to make some popcorn. A light knock at her front door sounds. Evelyn opens the door to find Sydney holding a welcome basket.
Hi, Miss Harris. I have your welcome basket here.
Oh, well, come on in, dear. You can put it in the kitchen there.
Sydney walks into the kitchen and hears familiar voices coming from the TV.
Oh, are you watching Project Runway?
Sure am.
Cool. Who do you want to win? I like Keisha, but Sean seems to always pull something amazing off at the last minute.
Yes, you're right about that. But my favorite just got sent home last week.
Oh, Cynthia was everything.
As Sydney turns the corner of the kitchen, she notices Evelyn's sketchbook on her counter.
Oh, are you some kind of famous artist or designer, Miss Harris?
I don't know if I would call myself famous, but I've been known to make things here and there.
Oh, wow. These are really good. I mean, if you ever get inspired to say, oh, I don't know, make this one within the next couple of months, I know a perfect model.
Sydney points to herself and twirls like a ballerina.
Okay, I'll buy. What's happening?
The winter formal. And my dad never wants to take me shopping, so I'm always ordering something online, but it never quite fits me right. So.
Well, let me think about it, and I will let you know.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. you, Miss Harris?
Well, I haven't said yes just yet. Give me some time to think about it.
Oh, okay, no problem. I'll check back in with you later.
Okay, hon.
Evelyn watches as in ecstatic Sydney races out the door. She shakes her head as her focus turns to her sketchbook and then toward the television as a project runway judge speaks to a contestant.
You are here for a reason. You were born with this talent, and it wasn't to knit sweaters on your couch at home. Get your head into the game.
Evelyn looks over at the coffee table to find the pageant packet. She takes a beat to think. Evelyn's porch, later that week. Evelyn rocks in her chair. She's at peace until Elianna speeds up in a golf cart and honks the horn.
Let's go, Diva.
Are you sure we shouldn't walk?
I'm perfectly fine. I haven't hit anything all week, and we're running late. Get in.
Evelyn hesitates, but finally steps into the golf cart. She does the sign of the cross before Elianna peels off. Pacific Manor Health Center. Moments later, Elianna swerves to park the golf cart in front of the building, barely missing Frankie as he walks toward the entrance.
See, we made it. All in one piece and no casualties. Let's go.
Elianna jumps out of the golf cart while Evelyn sits for a moment, trying to catch her breath.
Just barely.
The two move toward the entrance as Frankie jogs to meet them, unaffected by the near-death experience.
Morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Perfect weather for a drive, wouldn't you say, Elianna?
Absolutely. I was just telling Evelyn that.
Right. Evelyn Harris, you must be headed for the health orientation.
You got it.
Frankie extends his hand.
Frankie love you, but please call me Frankie. All my friends do.
Frankie turns to Elianna and smiles, but she is oblivious to his flirtatious glance.
Right. Well, we don't want to make Evelyn late.
No, we don't. Let me grab the door for you ladies.
Thank you, Frankie.
Of course. You two have a great day.
The pair walk through the door. Evelyn remains as Elianna moves forward.
Okay, so I think they're having the orientation upstairs in room.
I don't believe it.
Elianna looks back to find Evelyn standing still.
Don't believe what?
That man is absolutely fawning over you. And the I know, the queen of realum and dealum, just don't be having friends.
Girl, come on. We're running late.
Evelyn reluctantly walks to catch up with Elianna.
Besides, reeling them in ain't never the problem. It's the dealing with them after. And Frankie, girl, that's nothing. Frankie is just being Frankie. Is he charming? Yes. But believe me when I tell you, there is nothing there.
As Elianna and Evelyn walk the halls, they bump into Sydney, wheeling a cart of supplies in the opposite direction.
Good morning, Miss Harris. Good morning, Miss Rodriguez.
Hey, aren't you supposed to be in school?
Oh, no, ma'am. We have a teacher work day, so I figured I would help out here before practice later.
Sydney is a part of an award-winning all-girl drumline at Davidson High.
Very cool.
Well, I have to get these supplies to Dr. Gordon, but Miss Harris, remember, I'm your girl when you're ready to get that sewing machine rolling again.
Wesley Owens, 17, turns the corner. He and Sydney collide.
Oops, my bad. You know I don't think it's stalking for a suit.
Who? Stalk me? Where? I was just.
I'm joking. Relax. It's good to see you. I thought you want to come in till later.
Well, I mean, you know what they say. The late squirrel doesn't get the worm, and the slow worm doesn't get the nut. Yeah, so you know what I'm saying.
Sydney continues to fumble just as Wesley's phone rings.
Oh, I gotta take this, but I'll see you around.
Oh, all right. Walk well.
Wesley walks away, confused. Sydney hides her face in her hands, embarrassed. Elianna and Evelyn approach her.
What was that?
A train wreck and the end of my social life.
Well, you know what could necessitate a moment like this? A bespoke dress.
Are Are you serious?
At least you can rely on that dress to start the conversation, and then we can work on getting that mount to catch up. Elianna can help out in that department.
Sydney hugs Evelyn and Elianna.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
No problem. Swing by Friday afternoon and I'll take your measurements.
Sydney shrieks away with excitement as Elianna and Evelyn continue on.
So since you're in the saying yes mood, let's talk about this pageant girl.
Oh, you and this pageant.
Look, I know you don't want to be a contestant, but I think since you're dusting off the old sewing machine, and if I make the cut, you can whip up something for your oldest, bestest friend. Please.
Okay, that's a compromise.
Elianna gives Evelyn a big hug like Sydney did previously.
Now, back to you and your friend.
Oh, God.
Evelyn's condo, day later. As Sydney stands on an apple box, Evelyn pulls out her measuring tape and Elianna pours a glass of wine.
Thank you, Miss Harris, for taking the time out to do this for me. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome, sweetie. I had forgotten how much fun this was. So tell me more about this winter formal.
Well, we have it every year in December at the Bentley Convention Center. All the schools in the county are invited, and there's a lot riding on the tire.
Sorry to bust your bubble, but you know this dress is only going to contribute to 10% of your success.
Unfortunately, she's right. Be packed. Right out.
You got that right.
What's BPAC?
Well, there was an old white woman named Bridget Bennett who came into the school once a week to teach us colored girls etiquette. She always told us that appearance was only 10% of our success. For the other 90, we had to be card-holding members of the BPAC. Be positive. Be authentic. Be confident.
The two friends high-five each other. Sydney remains unsure.
Okay, that's cool and all, but you still got me on a fire designer, right?
Oh, that's one thing you'll never have to worry about. This woman's work has graced the runways of New York, London, Paris, and Milan.
Really?
I did all right.
My girl did more than all right. You ever wonder why this woman is always watching Project Runway? Well, if you check out the credits, you will notice an E. Harris listed as a consultant.
Wow.
So trust me, this one's got you.
Evelyn gives Sydney a wink while she stands in shock.
Now, about this date situation. Wesley?
Oh God. That would be a dream, but I could never pull that off.
Be packed.
No, seriously. Wes is like a doctorate degree, and I'm more like a GED.
Why would you say that?
I mean, look at me.
Evelyn and Elianna start to buzz around Sydney like honeybees.
Be packed.
You guys are weird.
That's right, and we embrace it. Just like you're going to have to embrace that you are a beautiful young lady, both inside and out.
That's right. People take notice, including a young man by the name of Wesley.
Wait, he said something to you?
I'm not at liberty to say, but if you play your cards right, you may have a dance partner.
Sydney blushes.
Okay, so these BPAC lessons.
Evelyn and Elianna give each other a nod. Evelyn's condo, day. Elianna starts on one side of the room, rolls her shoulders back, seductively moves her hips as she gracefully walks across the room. She motions for Sydney to replicate her movements. Sydney takes 2 steps and trips on the carpet. She regains composure and continues in attempts to emulate Elianna. Elianna places her head in her hands. Over time, Sydney's confidence training is in full swing, and as each day passes, the tasks Elianna and Evelyn throw at her become easier and more innate. Pacific Manor mailroom. Weeks later, day. Evelyn walks down the hallway to the mailroom. She runs into Dwayne.
Hello there, Miss Harris.
Hey, Dwayne, how are you?
Doing great. Hey, thank you so much for helping Sid these past couple of weeks. I don't have much experience in the fashion department, and without a mom around, it's been a little tough.
No problem at all. She's a sweet kid.
Thank you. Thank you for saying that. I have to check in on the resident, but enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Thank you again.
Evelyn continues toward the mailroom. Elianna enters with anticipation, unaware of Evelyn exiting, and they collide.
Whoa.
Sorry. I'm expecting a letter from Julian's benefit company. I'm supposed to get a hefty sum of money, but his lawyers have been jerking me around for the last 2 years, talking about there was a mix-up in the paperwork.
Crazy how even in death that man is still trying to play you.
I know, right? And now that little high yellow teenage heifer he had been shacking up with before he died wants to cash in. But since we never officially divorced, it's not as easy as she thought it was going to be.
Mm-hmm. And you deserve it every damn time after everything we put you through.
You're damn skippy, but it is putting me in a bit of a bind. I talked to my accountant, and if this isn't resolved this year, I don't think I can stay here. I may have to move back to Houston with my baby boy, Junior. And Junior...
Elianna stops mid-sentence as Dwayne and a new resident walk past the mailroom, followed by a camera crew.
Is that? Can't be. Lindsay Pfeiffer.
That's a name I haven't heard in about 40 years.
I guess some people are just too evil to die.
Ew.
I mean it.
Well, there is a chance it's not her.
Elianna stares in the direction of the new resident, and Evelyn tries to interject.
Hey, Gail mentioned an evening church service tonight. Are you going?
I can't think right now. Just call me later. I'm going to get a few rounds in with the heavy bag.
Okay, stay home.
Elianna's patio, day, moments later.
Okay, guys, punch, jab, punch, jab.
Elianna follows directions of a YouTube trainer as she throws punches on her heavy bag.
Go again.
Elianna
punch,
hits the bag
jab,
so hard
punch,
on this last
cross,
sequence
one,
that she surprises
one,
herself.
One, two. Okay.
That felt good.
She wipes her brow and makes her way to the shower. While in the shower, her phone rings. She looks down. It's Gail.
Hey, I'm outside. Are you almost ready?
Yeah, I'll be just a minute. You can let yourself in.
Okay.
Gail enters Elianna's condo and proceeds to the living room where she finds a basket of brownies and cookies.
Ooh, what are these? Are they from a secret admirer?
Elianna quickly jogs back into the living room.
Oh, Dwayne had some treats delivered for my...
She finds Gail stuffing a brownie into her mouth.
Did you eat that whole brownie?
Gail's mouth is full.
These are good. Dwayne can really bake, huh? Weird aftertaste, but good.
Elianna steps back. She decides to let her ride the wave.
They most certainly are. But you know what they say? A moment on the lips is a lifetime on the hips.
Elianna quickly moves the basket from the living room to the kitchen and calls Evelyn from the kitchen phone.
Hello? Hold on a second. Let me bring in Carol.
Elianna proceeds to call Carol on three-way.
Yes? Hey, I have Evelyn on the other line. I'm going to three-way us all.
Elianna connects the three on the line.
Three-way, huh? Been a while since I had one of those. Last time I was scratching the next day. You know, they should really do some health screenings here. We aren't.
Carol, focus. Everyone here?
Yes.
I need you both to meet me at the chapel.
I already told Gail I'm not going today. I'm not in the mood.
Carol, get your ass down there now. You will not be disappointed. I told her about always coming in here and eating things out of my house without asking.
Wait, start from the beginning? Whose ass?
Damn it, Carol. Just get down to the chapel and bring your hearing aid. We will meet you there.
Elianna abruptly ends the call and walks back into the living room to find Gail seemingly unaffected by the tainted baked goods.
All set? Oh, yeah. I just had to check in with Evelyn and Carol. They are going to meet us there.
Oh, that's great. Lord knows, sometime in the house of the Lord could do wonders for Carol.
Pacific Manor Chapel, moments later. Elianna and Gail walk into the chapel to find Carol and Evelyn sitting in the back. Gail makes her way to the front of the church with the other ushers, while Elianna takes a seat in the back with Carol and Evelyn. Pastor Euler, late 40s, approaches the pulpit to greet the congregation, and the congregation stands.
You know how I told you Dwayne was my personal baked good aficionado? Well, after I left you earlier, I asked him to drop me off something special to calm my nerves, and then Gail comes in.
So you're not going to tell her?
Elianna shakes her head no.
And y'all say I'm the cold one?
Good evening, saints. Peace be with you.
And with you.
This evening's hymn is number 92. Abide with me.
The piano begins to play the intro to Abide With Me as Elianna, Evelyn, and Carol's attention is fixed on Gail's every move.
So, do you think it's abiding with her yet?
Oh, yeah.
Gail begins to frantically look around. Dwayne notices her strange behavior and approaches her pew.
Miss Gail, are you okay? Would you like some water or something?
Gail gazes off into the distance and begins to laugh hysterically while pointing at the congregation.
Look at all these old people thinking they still got IT, like technology. Y'all get it?
Gail begins to laugh again, then stops abruptly. She stares at the ceiling.
Are you sure you wouldn't like some water or maybe some fresh air?
Elianna and Carol begin to quietly snicker.
Why are y'all all staring at me? I know the Lord. You don't. Wait. Jesus? Is that you? Oh, Lord. It's not time, is it? Well, I didn't do it. I swear I didn't do it.
The music stops as all attention focuses on Gail. Inez walks up to Gail and softly guides her out of the church.
Don't worry, Pastor. I know this all too well. We know you didn't do it. It's all going to be okay. We'll get you a great lawyer, and everyone will see that you are innocent.
The congregation tries to continue on with the hymn as the music begins again, but they remain in a state of confusion. Evelyn shakes her head as her two companions continue their laughter.
Thank you, choir, for that beautiful song. May we all abide in the arms of our loving Savior, Jesus Christ. Peace. Let us pray.
Pacific Manor Chapel, evening, later. Evelyn, Carol, and Elianna walk amongst the congregation to exit the service. They stop when they hear someone call Elianna from within the church. It's the new resident, Lindsay Pfeiffer Griffin, Caucasian, mid-70s.
Elianna!
As Lindsay approaches the trio, a camera crew follows behind her.
I knew that was you. It's so refreshing to see your familiar face.
Elianna stands in disbelief. Lindsay attempts to go in for a hug and Elianna dodges it. Pastor Euler approaches the women.
Excuse me, but we do not allow filming around the chapel grounds.
Completely understandable. I apologize, Pastor.
Lindsay motions for the camera crew to stop filming.
I was just so excited to see some childhood friends and wanted to capture it. We all were such the best of friends growing up.
I see. Well, that's very nice.
Elianna continues to bite her tongue and remains silent as Lindsay continues to recreate history.
Well, we have to push off, but lovely service today, Pastor. Thank you. Be blessed.
See you later, girls.
Evelyn shuffles Elianna off as Carol looks back and forth between Lindsay and Elianna with a mischievous smile, hoping drama ensues.
Carol, coming.
Elianna's condo, evening, moments later. The three women walk into Elianna's condo. Elianna slams her bag on the kitchen table.
Let's just breathe. Breathe.
Elianna pulls out a drawer in her living room and begins to wrap her hands like she's about to fight.
Oh, okay, put me in. What's happening right now?
We both grew up with Lindsay. She always thought she was the best thing since sliced bread. But she was an absolute terror to Elianna. She was the pageant queen for years until they integrated, and Elianna in all her black girl magic came in the power. At every turn, she would do something to shake out. I mean, anything from cutting holes in her gowns, which I had to stitch up last minute, to switching out her heels for smaller sizes. Despite all the shots taken at her, Elle kept winning and displayed an amazing level of grace until she did.
Elianna continues to wrap her hands and makes her way out to her outside patio where her heavy bag is mounted. Evelyn and Carol follow her.
So we were gearing up for a really big state pageant, and there was big money involved. Elianna was hands down favorite to win, and with her modeling dress, the win was hers for the taking. But Lindsay found Elle's tipping point. Ricky Kingston. To be fair, Ricky was a known flirt, but people knew that. Ricky was Elle's, and he was off limits. So we get there, and we find a letter addressed to Elle on her makeup stand from Ricky saying to meet him in the closet before curtains for a surprise. Now we go to the closet to find Ricky and Lindsay making out.
Elianna begins to hit the bag harder and harder as Evelyn tells the story.
That hussy?
Yep. Ricky was completely caught by surprise and tries to explain. Lindsay smirks and tries to walk away, but Elianna has reached the point of no return and pounces on her. It takes me and two other girls to pull her off. Needless to say, Lindsay walks away as the victim. Elle is disqualified and banned from future pageants. Lindsay takes the win and Ricky.
Damn!
Elianna reaches for a bottle of water and Carol replaces it with her flask.
Thank you.
I wonder what brought her here.
I don't care, but I don't need to be around her.
Well, this place is so big, I'm certain you will hardly see each other.
Pacific Manor Banquet Hall, day. Gail stands at the front of the banquet hall reading off a card.
I'd like to send congrats to our 2023 Lady Pearl Pacific Manor South contestants, Inez Langston, Jane Robertson, Elianna Rodriguez, and Lindsay Griffin.
Elianna stops in mid-clap and catches the eye of Lindsay, waving from across the room.
Ooh, shit! It's getting interesting now.
Okay, let's try to remain calm. Maybe she's changed.
Elianna takes a deep breath and rolls her eyes.
That's right. Breathe. Breathe. We're all older now. That has to count for something.
Elianna remains silent.
I'll see you ladies Wednesday for our first day. Congrats again.
Pacific Manor Conference Room, day. Gail stands in the front of the room dressed in a military fatigue dress. Inez, Jane, and Elianna are lined up like recruits.
All right, you maggots. Now listen up. We've got 10 weeks to get you in tip-top shape. Do you hear me?
Sir, yes, sir.
Three pageants look down the line in confusion.
Eyes front, maggots.
You got one more time to call me a maggot before your decomposed body be fully acquainted with the family of maggots.
Tone it down.
Yeah.
I'm just so excited. Finally, my skills and expertise are being put to good use. You ladies just don't know how much it means to me. Come on, have a seat.
Lindsay enters the room late with a camera crew following closely behind.
I'm so sorry I'm late. Filming ran a little long at the food pantry.
No problem. Come on in, have a seat.
The camera crew positions themselves to capture every moment. Lindsay checks with the camera crew to make sure she's all set before speaking further.
Thank you, and good afternoon, ladies. I'm so glad to be in such pleasant company.
She pauses to look in Elianna's direction.
I'm sure. Well, on your desk, you will find your pageant Bibles. They have all the information you need about the pageant, important dates, rules, regulation, etc., etc. Now, there has been a few changes from last year's pageant.
They're still doing the spa retreat, right?
Oh, absolutely. The quintessence spa is going to be divine. The only changes are in the scoring structure and judging procedures. This year, the talent portion has been reconstructed to include bonus point for those who perform as a group.
So, if we wanted to knit as a group, how would we do that?
Or if we wanted to disassemble and reassemble a Smith & Wesson MP 1522.
Whoa there. Let me get things back in. I forgot you all are new. The talent portion for every Lady Pearl pageant is lip singing. Once we decide on a song, we will coordinate all the background elements such as lighting, dancers, costumes, etc.
Oh,
Okay.
Here is how your scores will be tallied. On stage presence and personality will be 40%, evening gown 20%, talent 30%, and volunteer activities 10%.
Volunteer activities?
Yes. Prior to the pageant, you will be required to volunteer a minimum of 4 hours with any organization and event, and a representative will sign off on your volunteer review form. Now, we'll meet here every Wednesday from 2 to 5 p.m. to rehearse and go over any questions that you may have. Sound like a plan?
I have a standing virtual virtual international book club on the Wednesday, but I can probably move some things around.
Yeah, and Benjamin is usually locked into one of his westerns during that time, so I'm free.
All agree to Gail's terms, all except Lindsay. She stands up and grabs her belongings, motions for the camera crew to stop filming and to leave the room.
Well, this has been a riveting meeting. This is the first and last I will be attending.
Excuse me.
Yes, pageantry isn't really a team sport. And I've spoken with my producer, and it just won't work with the shooting schedule of my new show, True American. So I will see you all on the stage. Godspeed, ladies.
Lindsay gives a royal court wave to the room and walks out. The room is left confused. Evelyn's condo, evening, later. Evelyn sits at her kitchen table sketching. She tears a sheet out, balls it up, and throws it across the table. Her phone rings. It's Jason, FaceTiming her.
Hey, Mama E, how's it going?
Hey, baby. I'm okay. Just sitting here, locked and looking for a little inspiration for Elle. How are you and the kids?
Well, the kids found a candy stash while I was taking a nap. So they're having a blast. Anyway, tell me more about what you're working on.
Well, I'm hitting a wall with Elle's dress. I don't know. They do have the option to go with this designer dress shop. Maybe Elle should just do that.
You're going to tell me, a member of the B pack, is about to back down from something because it doesn't come easy? As much as you drilled that into me, you're questioning yourself?
Nothing is coming to me. I know it's going to need to be something she can move in, but at the same time, I want her to appear regal. It needs to flow, but also have a defined structure. Bold, but soft, and then...
Mama E, stop it.
I know. I just want this to be perfect for Elle. This means so much to her, especially having to deal with Lindsay again.
And I know it means a lot for you, too. This will be the first original piece since Papa J, right?
Yeah.
So how about this? Give yourself some grace, take a few days off, and let the inspiration come to you.
You have a point. Thank you, son.
Anything for you, Mama E.
Jason hears a crash in the distance, inhales and exhales in frustration.
Well, that sounds like Chelsea's grandmother's china. Yeah, I gotta go.
By all means, do.
Damn it, boys, how many times I have to tell?
The FaceTime call ends. Evelyn lets out a big sigh and closes her sketchbook. Evelyn's condo, days later. Evelyn makes last adjustments to Sydney's dress and updates Sydney on some recent pageant developments.
That's crazy. So, do you know if they picked a song for the lip sync battle?
Well, Elle said Gail has her heart set on us doing Hold On by Wilson Phillips. She said she has the choreography laid out and everything.
Wilson Phillips? Who he?
Wilson Phillips is a girl group from the 90s.
Never heard of them. Do you have the song you can play for me?
Sure. Let me see if I can get this new toy working that Jason sent me. Alex, play Wilson Phillips, Hold On.
Miss Harris, it's Alexa.
Really? Okay. So maybe it's not broken? I was about to send it back. I can't keep up with all this stuff. Anyways, Alexa, play Wilson Phillips, Hold On.
The instrumental begins to filter through on the Amazon Echo speaker.
Don't ever let anyone step all over you.
This is the song they go with. Oh no, Miss Harris, I can't let them go out like that. I'm not the coolest girl, but I know that this ain't it. It's gotta be provocative, you know, gets the people going.
Evelyn misses the Blaze of Glory reference, but Sydney keeps moving.
This is putting me to sleep. You know what? I got the perfect song for them.
Sydney scrolls through her phone, finds the song, and puts headphones on Evelyn. Evelyn starts to bob her head. She likes it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Pacific Manor Dance Room. Day, moments later. Gail is at the front of the room demonstrating the first 8 counts of the Wilson Phillips choreography. It is a weird style of interpretive dance, but she is 100% committed to it. Evelyn and Sydney bust into the room, which startles Gail.
Ladies, this is a closed rehearsal.
Yes, of course. But Sydney and I want to share something with the group. I think it's a great idea for the lip sync battle. It's a little risky, but go ahead, Sydney. Tell her your vision.
Okay, so here's what I was thinking.
The women circle around Sydney as she opens her laptop and shows the women her vision. The recruits show excitement as they listen and watch Sydney's pitch.
Well, it's no Wilson Phillips. I think it's a great idea.
I have to admit, I was a little nervous when you came in here saying you had an idea, but you really have some moves there, girl. I'm impressed.
B-Pack style.
Elianna and Sydney high-five each other.
Okay, ladies, we'll continue to work on the talent portion and have Miss Sydney come in to make sure we're on the right track. Sound okay to you, Sydney?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. Now, before we dismiss for the afternoon, I just want to remind everyone of the volunteer event planned for next weekend at the Rainbow Trek for MS. The shuttle will meet us at the community center at 7 a.m. to drive us over. And if there's nothing else, let's bring it in, ladies. Lady Pearl on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Lady Pearl!
Elianna's condo, evening, later. Elianna sits on her porch, eyes closed in silence with headphones playing soft, calming music. Frankie approaches her. He stops to stare for a moment, basking in her beauty, until she softly opens her eyes. She's startled.
Frankie, you scared me.
I'm sorry. You just look so peaceful. And I didn't want to bother you. What's that you're listening to that has you so mesmerized?
I'm trying these new meditations Tawana handed out in class. They are supposed to calm you.
Oh, really? I have to take a listen.
Yeah, they are pretty good. So what brings you around these parts?
Well, I haven't seen you around as much, so I figured the pageant must have you pretty busy. Congrats again.
Thank you. I'm actually looking forward to it.
So, have you thought about
Just as Frankie advances on the porch steps, a loud crash comes from the side of Elianna's condo. Elianna and Frankie leap up to find out what has happened. They find Lindsay sprawled out on the road in between two trash cans. Frankie dives in to assist her to her feet.
Oh my! Let me help you up. What happened?
I seem to have lost my footing. I hope I haven't sprained something.
Well, let me get you to the car. We should probably get you down to the nurse's station to have them look at it. Elianna, I'll be right back.
No worries. I'll see you later.
Elianna walks back toward her condo, leaving Frankie torn between his duty to assist his fellow man and his desire to spend time with Elianna. Lindsay notices Frankie's lingering glances toward Elianna as he walks away and begins to wince in pain to recapture his attention.
Oh, goodness. I think the pain is getting more intense. I'm so glad to have a strong man like you, dear. You are just a sudden ray of hope in my darkest hour. I'm Lindsay Griffin, by the way. I didn't catch your name.
Oh, I'm Franklin Lovett.
Frankie loads Lindsay into his golf cart and rolls away just as Evelyn walks past. Evelyn gives a quick, confused wave and calls for Elianna.
Hey, girl.
Dan Piranha.
Well, hello to you, too.
Oh, sorry. That was for Lindsay.
The two make their way into Elianna's home, and Evelyn whips out her measuring tape from her fanny pack as the pair make their way into the living room.
Oh, yeah. I just saw Frankie rolling her down the street. She looked to be in pain. Your work?
I wish.
Evelyn begins to take Elianna's measurements.
Well, did you get a chance to ask Frankie about the escort thing?
No, and I actually felt like he came over here to ask me about it.
That's sweet.
Am I being delusional like me at my age? Having a crush? It's crazy, right?
I crushed on JD until the day he died, so no matter.
I guess you're right. It just puts me in a weird place when he looks at me. It's like he actually sees me. Honestly, it scares me.
At our age, it should excite you, not scare you to have a new love interest.
The last man I let in like that was Ricky, and we see how that ended. Not even Julian saw a need for me. I always envied you and JD. You two just seem to get each other from the start.
Well, we were the best of friends, so that helped. But that's not to say there weren't hiccups along the way.
Not Jordan High School's favorite couple.
Oh, yeah. But we both understood that love is a risk. Thankfully, every year we decided to take the risk head on together. And I'm going to say something I normally don't. Stop thinking. Just act. Frankie gives me the impression that it'll be well worth it.
Elianna thinks to herself as Evelyn continues to take her measurements. Oberlin Park Trail, morning, days later. A race coordinator gathers the volunteers together to give them instructions for the day.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us as volunteers for the 25th Annual Rainbow Trek for MS.
The race coordinator begins to applaud, leading the volunteers to do the same.
We are going to disperse into our respective locations, but please remember to stay hydrated throughout the day. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask one of our staff members in the bright pink shirts. This is going to be a great day, ladies and gents.
The volunteers disperse to their locations. Gail, Evelyn, Elianna, Jane, and Inez move toward the finish line station. Time passes, and Jane squats in an attempt to inspect the powder-filled buckets.
Okay, ladies, so you each have a couple of buckets of our special rainbow powder. As the runners cross the finish line, simply throw the powder in their direction.
Why would we do that? Has this powder been tested? Is this powder safe for the skin? What happens if someone inhales the powder or if it's ingested? Are there medics on the site in case of emergencies?
Excuse my friends.
Oh, no, it's no problem. All valid questions. So to answer them,
We want the running experience to be lively and colorful. The powder is non-toxic and has been tested and approved by our local authorities. And we do have medics throughout the race just to ensure that everyone's safety is secured.
Uh-huh. Partially accepting the answers, Jane gives the race coordinator a once-over and walks over to her bucket. Time passes.
I wonder how much longer we have.
Hopefully we'll have some racers coming through.
I hope so. I think I'm on the last minutes of these insoles.
Girl, I know that's right.
4 golf carts make their way to the side of the finish line, toting Lindsay and her camera crew. Lindsay is dressed as though she has just stepped off the pageant stage and unloads a large cardboard check from the back of one of the carts. Gail attempts to approach her to diffuse the tension.
Lindsay, great to see you, but I wasn't expecting to see you here.
Oh, I guess it must have slipped my mind, but I'm not here in my pageantry capacity. I'm here as a representative for the Griffin Foundation to present the check.
Oh, well,
Lindsay dismissively walks away toward the race coordinator, cutting Gail off mid-sentence.
The first group of racers are about 5 minutes away from the finish line.
All right, everyone. And remember that these runners will be exhausted and feeding off the energy that you're able to give them.
Lindsay motions for her camera crew to get in place, and the group begins to cheer as they see the first runner in the distance completely filled with the colored powder. Lindsay times her on-site interview to begin as the runner is positioned perfectly in her background.
It's just been a pleasure giving back to the community and volunteering this year at the 25th Annual Rainbow Trek for MS.
As the first runner passes the finish line, she wobbles over to Lindsay, begins to projectile vomit, and faints. Jane throws the powder on the woman sprawled out at the finish line, Lindsay and her camera crew. Evelyn, Elianna, and Inez all give her a WTF look.
What? We want this experience to be lively and colorful, right?
Medic!
Cut!
Pacific Manor Community Center, day later. The women arrive in time to see Dwayne and a few other Pacific Manor residents taking pictures of Sydney. She stands among a few of her friends before they head off to the formal. Evelyn and Elianna scream out the shuttle's windows.
Hey!
The shuttle comes to a stop. Elianna and Evelyn are covered in colored powder, but stop just short of the girls.
Whoa. Looks like you guys had a great time. But what happened to Mrs. Griffin?
Lindsay is seen in the distance getting out of her car, still in shambles.
I don't think you want to know, but it was definitely eventful.
Enough about her. You are working that dress, little girl. You look stunning.
Thank you, Ms. Rodriguez. I had a little help.
Okay, go on now and walk for us.
Sydney gives a quick runway walk. Her confidence is at 1,000.
All right, girl. Work it. Come on, girl. Work it.
All right. We need to get along. This limo ain't cheap.
I know. Thank you, Daddy.
Sydney and her friends load into the limo. As it pulls away, Elianna and Evelyn wave and blow kisses.
She looks so good.
I know, right? We did that. We should go out tonight to celebrate.
Absolutely. What time?
Want to shoot for 8?
Let's do it. I'm going to grab a shower and I'll be in the music room to shed a little. So swing by and get me when you're ready.
You got it.
Pacific Manor hallway, evening later. Whispers of Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata circles the hallways as Frankie makes his way toward the East Wing music room. Frankie looks through the window to see Elianna at the piano. He bursts into the room with a rousing applause, startling Elianna.
Bravo! Bravo! Bravo!
Frankie, what are you doing here?
I heard some of the most amazing sounds, and I had to come see who was at the piano. To my surprise, it's you.
Oh, really?
Yes, really. So I'm intrigued now. Tell me more about what you were just playing. I think I heard that at a movie before.
Well, that was Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata. I always start my sessions with a classical piece before I move into my favorite. Sort of rule of thumb from my upbringing.
Where did you learn how to play?
Oh, my poppy taught me. He was a musician, but providing for 7 kids derailed his dreams of Carnegie Hall. So he ended up working at the mill and performing gigs around town at night. I used to love hearing him play. Whenever he played, you would think you were front row center at Carnegie Hall or something. He was the greatest.
Well, seems like he taught you well. Can I get a little bit more of that Carnegie experience? Elianna's Rodriguez style.
Okay, better yet, how about I start playing and see if you can guess the name of that song?
Deal.
Elianna places her hands on the keys and begins to play Nat King Cole's rendition of That's All.
Wait, hold up. That's my man. How'd you know?
I may have heard you whistling it down the hall once or twice.
Elianna continues to play her beautiful rendition.
That was amazing. And what an amazing surprise.
Thank you. I'm glad you liked it.
Elianna hesitates and is reminded of Evelyn's words to just act.
So, since you enjoyed that surprise, I want to share another one with you.
Wait, you aren't pregnant, are you?
Oh, no. I wish it was that easy.
Frankie looks at Elianna confused.
So, you already know that I'm in the pageant. However, they instructed us to choose an escort. And I was wondering if you would like to be mine.
Frankie takes a step back.
Oh, well, this is a little awkward because Lindsay just asked me about a week ago.
Oh, okay. I understand. No problem.
Elianna begins to grab her sheet music from the piano in preparation to leave.
Wait, whoa. I didn't say yes.
You didn't?
Yeah, why would I say yes to Lindsay if I thought I had half a chance with you? The young people say you got to shoot your shot. So this is me shooting my shot. So I have a little surprise of my own.
Frankie walks back outside the door and brings in a large bouquet of purple chrysanthemums and a gift basket filled with all of Elianna's favorite candies.
For you.
What?
Elianna glances backward toward the door to see Evelyn, Gail, and Carol snooping past and giving a thumbs up.
I should have known this was a setup.
I hope a good one. And to answer your question, it would be my honor to escort you to the pageant.
The couple stares into each other's eyes. Frankie leans in to kiss Elianna, and she willingly accepts. The trio outside the door high-five one another. Pacific Manor Banquet Hall. Days later, evening. Evelyn, Elianna, Carol, and Gail are eating dinner after spending a relaxing day at the Quintessence Spa.
Today was just what the doctor ordered.
Sure was. And it was good to mix and mingle with the other ladies from the other communities too.
I know someone I would like to mix and mingle with. That fine, dark chocolate owner. What was his name? Oh yeah, Miles Turner. I think I can have a few miles left in my tank for good old Miles.
Oh, Carol, you made that man so uncomfortable. I don't know why I invited you as my guest.
You know you enjoy my company.
Oh yes, I enjoy like a fresh case of shingles.
have to admit, though, the man was calm.
They all nod their heads in agreement as a few maintenance men begin to hang a congratulatory poster featuring all the Pacific Manor contestants' headshots. Elianna becomes fixated on Lindsay's picture. Evelyn gives a quick yet effective slap across Elianna's face.
Keep your head in the game. We have a week left. We're both coming out of retirement for this thing, and we can't let childish games sidetrack the show and stove.
Damn, you're right, but you better hope that slap doesn't leave a bruise.
My bad, girl. I'm sure you can get Frankie to kiss it and make it all better.
Elianna lightly slaps Evelyn's arm.
I'm in training mode, just like the boxers. No looking until after the pageant. But I'm telling you, I'm counting down the days. Redemption on stage and in the bedroom.
All right.
The two high five. Pacific Manor Dance Room, day. A montage is shown of Gail conducting the final rehearsal with contestants and their escorts. Rehearsal ends, and everyone has circled around Gail for final thoughts and a champagne toast.
I want to first thank you ladies for trusting me as your leader this year. It has truly been an honor. I would like to tell you how incredibly proud I am of you. I know I'm not always the easiest person to work with, but you each show great professionalism, skill, and determination. So let's raise a glass to the pearls of Pacific Manor South. May your light continue to burn bright on and off the stage tomorrow. I love you all. Cheers.
Convention Center, evening. Guests take pictures on the red carpet and begin to enter the large double doors of the convention center. Dwayne, Jason, and Carol walk down the aisles to find their seats.
Wow, this is impressive. Let me find out senior pageant life is on and popping. Thank you all for letting me ride Rhone with you.
No problem, man. It's going to be a fun night, and we all are going to be on our best behavior. Isn't that right, Mrs. Kingsley?
What well-behaved woman ever made history? Boy, bye.
The trio finds their seats and wave to Sydney and Wesley sitting across the table.
Look at their lovebirds.
They watch as the new couple shares a popcorn.
It starts off with popcorn. You know they made a song back in the day called Butter Popcorn. And baby...
All right. Miss Kingsley, now that's my daughter now.
Her mother was somebody's daughter too, Mr. Hastings.
Okay. Let's call it truce. I don't even want to know where you were going with that.
The lights dim in the convention center, and the spotlight hits the stage.
To the 5th annual Lady Pearl Pageant, inspiring the women of our past, present, and future. The hosts, contestants, and volunteers have been hard at work to present you with an evening of elegance and entertainment. Without further ado, please welcome to the stage tonight's master and mistress of ceremony, Josie Seals.
Josie enters in a 3-piece black designer suit and 5-inch stiletto heels on his feet. He walks the stage's runway and ends at the stage's podium.
Good evening, and good evening. We are so pleased to have you at the 5th annual Lady Pearl Pageant.
The crowd gives a rousing applause.
For our newcomers, you are in for a treat. The Lady Pearl Pageant was founded 5 years ago by Dr. Paul Dittmar after the passing of his grandmother, Pearl Dittmar. For those of us who knew her, remember her as an incredible woman, mother, grandmother, scholar, entrepreneur, social activist. I mean, she did it all. So to honor her legacy and to inspire others to continue to strive towards greatness within themselves and their communities, no matter what their age, Dr. Paul Dittmar created the Lady Pearl Pageant. As you may have seen on the posters coming in, tonight's theme is confidence. And don't we all know that that could be one of our sexiest accessories? Here tonight, as judges, are three marvelous human beings. First up, national recording artist and 7-time Grammy winner, Big G. Next to him is celebrity fashion designer and stylist, Miss Zelda Springfield. And last but not least, we have former executive TV producer and founder of Sexy Over 60, Mrs. Vanessa DeVoe.
He pauses to allow the audience the opportunity to give the judges appropriate applause. Backstage, the contestants are doing their final touch-up. Evelyn is found assisting Elianna with final looks. Lindsay walks past the two friends, avoiding eye contact.
Godspeed, ladies. Keep it pushing.
Back on stage, Josie is continuing to address the audience.
I know I mentioned our judges down front, but we require full audience participation in this pageant. So during our intermission, you will have the opportunity to cast your ballot for the People's Choice Award via our Lady Pearl app. Don't worry, we have no electoral college here. So one ballot cast equals one vote. I know you are anxiously awaiting the reveal of our contestants. So without further ado, curtain man, do your thing.
The curtains go up to reveal the 16 contestants spread across the stage in a line. The crowd gives a standing ovation.
Ladies and gentlemen, our 2023 Lady Pearl contestants.
The 16 women perform an upbeat dance routine and pose on the final count as Josie announces them individually. Once they are all announced, Josie re-enters to center stage.
Ladies and gentlemen, your 2023 Lady Pearl contestants. They look amazing, don't you, Ray?
The house lights fade to black. A video montage begins, chronicling the women's journey to the pageant. Backstage, contestants scramble to get their next outfits on.
Ladies, evening gowns are next. Again, evening gowns are next.
Contestants continue to scramble backstage. Evelyn turns to open Elianna's garment bag, and it's missing.
Where's your garment bag?
What do you mean? It was right here.
Elianna thinks.
That bitch.
What am I supposed to do? I can't go out there in my girdle.
I got you.
And you're good, but you ain't that good. Ain't no way you can whip up a dress in 10 minutes.
I told you, I got you.
Evelyn takes her phone from her pocket.
Hey, baby, yeah, she did it. Bring it up. I'll tell them to let you through.
What was that?
You'll see.
On stage, the lights are brought back up to full. Josie stands at the host podium, donning a designer gown, full face in makeup. In the background, a plush golden throne is wheeled to the center of the stage, where 6 preteen girls in ponytails run out on stage to sit around it.
Special thanks to 2513 Productions for putting that lovely video together for us and for getting shots of my best sides. Oh, I'm kidding. All my sides are the best sides. But I guess that's neither here nor there. It's now time for the Pearls of Wisdom portion of the pageant. In this segment, the women will walk the catwalk and return to the seat to offer up one token of wisdom to these young ladies that sit at the feet of this chair. First up is Pacific Manor South.
Inez is first to enter the stage.
Greetings. My name is Inez Langston, and I'm a retired elementary school teacher with the Reddington school system. Throughout my years in education, I learned that the mind is a powerful thing, and you should keep it in mind that you should never let your own mind bully your body.
Benjamin meets Inez at center stage, gives her a soft kiss on the cheek, and leads her off as Jane enters the stage.
Good evening. I am Jane Robinson. Although I work in a male-dominant industry, I have some very powerful women in my life. And what I've learned is that you can either fear the fire or you can become it.
Jane's escort leads her off as Lindsay enters the stage.
Good evening. My name is Lindsay Griffin. I'm a retired consultant for Crow Estates and board member for the Griffin Foundation. What I found in life is that real heroes don't have a name on the back of their jersey, but they do have their country's flag on the arm of their uniform.
Lindsay's son meets Lindsay at center stage and leads her off stage. Lindsay walks backstage and passes an unfazed Elianna, dressed in a form-fitting, radiant gown with a glorious, free-flowing train. Lindsay stares in awe. Elianna sashays onto the stage.
Buenas noches. Mi nombre es Elianna Rodriguez. Soy una pianista clásica jubilada. En mi tiempo libre todavía disfruto componiendo música. El lema de mi vida es ellos tratarán de estoranos, pero no sabían que éramos semillas. My name is Elianna Rodriguez. I'm a retired classical pianist. In my free time, I still enjoy composing music. The motto of my life is they tried to bury us, but did not know we were seeds.
Elianna meets Frankie at center stage. He too is awestruck and tries to maintain his composure to escort her off stage. Lindsay quickly leaves the backstage area as Elianna and Frankie approach.
So how did I do?
Elianna and Evelyn high five.
Are you serious? That was amazing. I'm so glad I listened to my spirit and it made 3 backups. So and show is back in business.
Frankie pulls Elianna close and gives her a long kiss.
All right. We need to get ready for the next portion.
Evelyn pulls Elianna away from Frankie in mid-kiss to prepare for the next portion of the pageant. Meanwhile, on stage, Josie appears center stage with a new sequenced gown.
I hope you all had your notepads out. Those were some amazing pearls right there. Well, we're about to start the segment you've all been waiting for, the ultimate lip sync battle. And believe me, the ladies were not playing around this year. Each contestant is bringing their A+ game. First up, we have a quartet with Pacific Manor West. Let's give it up.
The lights dim and the women of Pacific Manor West appear on the stage with their hair teased and are wearing airbrush t-shirts that say "Wild Women Do" on the front. They stand as statues as they mouth the first lines of the song sung by Natalie Cole. The quartet jump around the stage, bringing a youthful energy to the stage as they complete the final choreography. The song finishes and Josie re-enters the stage.
All right, judges, did the ladies drive you wild?
Vanessa holds up an 8, Zelda an 8, and Big G holds up a 4.
Okay, tough crowd. Well, next up, we have a duo from Pacific Manor North. Welcome, Benita and Anna.
The lights dim as the drums to Push It by Salt and Pepper begin to play. The women jog out on the stage wearing black jumpsuits, red boots, bomber jackets, gold chains, and bamboo earrings. They are performing each step of the iconic choreography flawlessly. They end their performance in a superwoman pose and trot off stage. Josie re-enters.
So, y'all just gonna act like that was easy? Give it up for ginseng, yoga, or whatever y'all got going on to keep them joints moving like that. Judges, what What say you?
Vanessa holds up a 10, Zelda 9, and Big G a 7.
Well, despite Big G, that makes our first 10 of the night. Way to go, ladies. Next up, we have solo act from Lindsay of Pacific Manners South.
The lights dim, and a faux band of 4 topless, muscular men take the stage. The 7-note guitar string intro starts the beginning of the Shania Twain hit, Man, I Feel Like a Woman.
Let's go, girls.
Lindsay walks on stage wearing black leggings, black cowboy boots, men's collared shirt, and a white cowboy hat. A few women race toward the stage with dollar bills. Jason and Dwayne look around to find Cheryl at the front of the stage, waving $1 bills at the half-naked men.
Man, that woman is grown. Energy checked all her vital signs before she left. She's good, a little fresh, as they call it, but she's fine.
Lindsay finishes the last line of the song and the crowd goes wild, more so for the men on stage. As she exits, Josie re-enters waving a silk fan and eyeballing the men.
Whoa. Lord have mercy. Hate to see you go, but love to watch you leave. Judges, let's hear from you.
Vanessa holds up a 10, Zelda a 10, and Big G a 6. The audience boos at Big G's 6, but he's unapologetic about it. Meanwhile, Elianna is backstage rounding up the ladies for their performance.
Well, ladies, we've come this far. It's time to show them what we've got. I'm so proud of us all. Let's leave it all on the stage. Confidence on 3.
The 4 ladies huddle around, place their hands in, and shout.
Confidence.
Josie approaches center stage.
All right. We have one more performance from a trio from Pacific Manners South. Give it up.
The lights dim, and spotlights reveal the 3 women in silk, white pajamas sitting at vanity stations. They sit in silence, reach for makeup cloths, and start removing their makeup as Little Mix's strip begins.
I say I'm beautiful, it's my committee. Say we too provocative. Still look at me, look at me, look at me. Come from my girls, blind. Daily mirror, mañana noche. I don't know you nothing. Now I don't give a not anymore. If you got little boobs, love it. If you got a big ass, grab it. If you got no big rugged, it's your life, go get it if you want it. Up in the mirror like, oh yeah. Loving my figure like, oh yeah. When I'm simmer, I'm thick, I'm like, oh yeah. Swear and make it look like, ah. Take off all my makeup, cause I love what's under it. Rub off all your words, don't give up, I'm over it. Jiggle all this weight, yeah, you know I love all of this. Finally love me naked, sexiest woman is confident. I ain't scared anymore, my body out of control. Baby, I know what you love, I don't want my heart. Gotta do what you want, if they love it or they don't. I know you already fucked. Take it out, strip.
Drumline members enter the stage for a quick 16-bar feature. The women gather again to continue their routine.
First of all, you gotta love who you are. Don't let social media tear you apart. HBIC, I'm head Benji in charge. I'm ready and I got 100 bars. I don't care if you got 100 cars. I don't care if you got 100 mil. Cause even if you had 100 deals, that money won't buy you a confidence whip.
The drums and the music instrumental are silenced. The women's real voices are heard over the loudspeakers. The drum line surrounds them at center stage, a stance of solidarity.
Take off all my makeup because I love what's under it. Rub
your words don't give me I'm over it.
Jiggle all this weight. Yeah, you know I love all of this.
Finally love me naked, sexiest when I'm confident.
The entire convention center is silent. The ladies look at each other until a slow clap begins. It is Big G. He's on his feet. The other judges join him as the crowd begins to applaud wildly. Josie re-enters the stage and is speechless.
Now that was confidence. Judges,
Vanessa holds up a 10, Zelda a 10, and Big G a 10.
tens across the board for PM South. Thank you to all the ladies. The performances were phenomenal this year. We will now have a 15-minute intermission so that our judges can calculate the scores and you, our audience, can place your votes for the People's Choice Award. We'll be back with you in 15.
As the women celebrate backstage, Elianna pulls Evelyn to the side.
What's going on now, girl?
My bladder is about to explode and I need help getting out of this girdle for the finale.
I got you, superstar.
Convention Center backstage bathroom. Moments later, Lindsay is in the corner of the bathroom talking on the phone.
One girl here is wearing some type of African garb. Honestly, they get that communist King's holiday in the whole month of February. I mean, what more do you need? And then there's another one that I'm sure we need to call us about, because there is no way that she is here legally. And
Elianna and Evelyn make themselves known. Lindsay attempts to pivot her conversation.
yes, it's been wonderful with some wonderful people. All right, well, I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for checking in. Love you.
She abruptly hangs up the phone.
Aren't children the greatest? Oh, that's right. You don't have any, Evelyn.
Watch it.
Oh, I'm watching everything, especially that big black buck of yours. Frankie, I think it is, right? You've never been good at keeping a man satisfied anyway, so.
Elianna lunges forward as Evelyn attempts to hold her back.
Oh, my. I see someone is still a little thirsty. Typical for a mudblood.
What the hell is that supposed to mean?
Gail swings the bathroom stall door open, rushes toward Lindsay, and swings at her. The right hook knocks her out.
Whoa, Rocky.
Gail, what did you do?
I'm sorry, ladies. I've been in the stall for the past 10 minutes. Strawberries messed up my stomach all the way up. I hope you didn't eat any of them. Anywho, I've had to listen to this despicable woman spew hate the whole time, and I was just tired of hearing it.
Well, damn, I guess those silver boxing classes are really paying off.
I would say so.
The trio high-five each other and walk out of the bathroom, leaving Lindsay sprawled out on the bathroom floor. The door closes and reopens. Elianna steps over Lindsay.
I still have to pee.
Convention Center. Moments later, Josie stands stage right holding 3 envelopes. All but one contestant is not on stage. Dr. Paul Dittmar, early 50s, stands center stage to address the matter.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you are enjoying the evening thus far. Unfortunately, I have some upsetting news to share. As you can see, there are only 15 women on stage. One contestant was asked to leave the pageant and will not be permitted on any of our Pacific Manor properties. As you know, the Lady Pearl pageant was birthed in memory of my grandmother. She Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you are enjoying the evening thus far. Unfortunately, I have some upsetting news to share. As you can see, there are only 15 women on stage. One contestant was asked to leave the pageant and will not be permitted on any of our Pacific Manor properties. As you know, the Lady Pearl pageant was birthed in memory of my grandmother. She
Well, thank you, Dr. Ditmar, for laying down the law.
The audience begins to clap for Dr. Ditmar as he exits the stage.
Okay, so yes, the results are in. Our 2023 Lady Pearl winners are
Elianna's condo, day. Movers are carrying furniture out of Elianna's condo. Evelyn and Elianna stand in the driveway, embraced in a hug.
I have to say, I've enjoyed the past couple of months with you. I just don't understand why you have to move.
You act like I'm moving across the country. You can walk 3 blocks up.
Mm-hmm. The girl wins a pageant and she just gets all big time.
It's not my fault my faithful subjects want to reward me with a housing upgrade.
And what do you need all this space for?
Frankie walks past the pair carrying a box and manages to free a hand to lightly tap Elianna on her behind.
Never mind. Don't answer that. But speaking of you two lovers, has Junior met Frankie yet?
Not yet, but he'll be here tomorrow.
Okay, good. I'm so proud of you, girl, for diving in.
Well, I'm proud of you two for not hiding all that talent. And so is JD.
Elianna reaches in her purse, pulls out a letter, and gives it to Evelyn. It's another letter from her late husband, JD.
My dearest Evelyn, you are reading this. I want to tell you that I'm so proud of you. I miss you, but I'm in no rush to see you anytime soon. You've got a lot of life to live down there on that crazy, crazy place we call Earth.
I tell you what, he always knew how to keep me on my toes. I love that man. And I love you too, girl.
Oh, and I love you too.
The two friends embrace and walk toward the moving truck.
Okay, let's have the cast stand up and please give them another round of applause. Great job. We had a lot of different challenges and all these things, and y'all stuck with us. Did y'all enjoy this? Lady Pearl, all right, so y'all got to be the first one to officially see it. And now I would love to invite to the stage the amazing screenwriter who wrote this beautiful homage to all of our mothers, our grandmothers, our godmothers, our aunties. We hope you saw yourself in this piece and know that we see you and y'all are hilarious. So thank you for giving us all these memories. And with that, please welcome Ms. Tatiana Johnson.
Thank y'all for sticking it out with us today. I am honored to be in the midst of all of you. Thank you so much for, this is an experience. We're trying this all the time. Thank you all for sticking it out with us. Family that has come from out of town that I didn't know was coming, that just showed up. I love you all so much. Thank you for consistently supporting me. I got the tears out earlier this morning, so I'm going to be okay. I do have a list of thank yous. Well, thank you all. One of my favorite tales is hearing the women in my family chuckle. And I've heard a couple chuckles over here, so as long as that's happening, I'm good. I just have a list of names for the song. My mama, beautiful right here. My sister Vanessa, who's watching the live stream, who has been on call as I unraveled all of yesterday. My two very generous donors, Tisha so much. Love y'all. Miles, during my craziness for the past 2 months, thank you, dear. My brother William is here doing some voiceover work. Troy, Precious, Kim, who designed the logo years ago when this was supposed to be an actual pageant, which, I haven't done that out there. It happened. Precious, Lisa, Alexus, Andrea, Vince, David, JDmL, Erica and Sarah Beth here at Beth's Bodyguard, who allowed us to use the space, the folks at the who kind of made that connection. Their art council and their generous support. And again, I'm gonna wrap. So thank you all again for coming tonight. I appreciate you all. The live stream is up. It's recorded. If you want to go back and watch, from what I understand, it sounds okay. So they didn't have to compete with what y'all had to compete with. So I thank y'all. Thank you, and good night.